worse than 10 states.
I'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Ecotherapy. These are the Eco Mints. They're made using state-of-the-art nanotechnology strength to CBD particles so that your body can actually use and benefit more from the hemp plant's magic. Little breath mints. They're amazing. I'm actually using the Rest mints. I take one every night before I go to bed. I sleep like a log. They've got other flavors that you can check out at their website below me. It says they've got like a revive for when you wake up. They've got a relax if you're just looking to chill. And you can find them all at their website, ecotherapycbd.com. And if you use the Worst in 10 promo code, you actually get 10% off all your purchases. So, Ecotherapy, check them out, guys.
Joy Brownie out of a to-go box.
I will.
All right.
They don't give you a dessert with home shop.
Oh, I thought it was trash. Welcome back to Worse than 10. I'm Reed Jolly here with host Nick Perna. Daniel Yanis is back, our host, because he has a day off, national holiday, which I've forgotten the whole day today. And producer Steven Sloan. Yeah, I kept waiting for my mail, and I went and I tried to get into the City Hall part of Lenexa. How I get into, depending on where I park, because I'm like, it's locked. What's wrong with this place? I keep forgetting. So,
but Facebook was covered every
I'm
other
not on
post
Facebook
scroll. You scroll
every
through
5
there,
minutes,
and there's somebody talking about
I wasn't trying to
think the
search for what you had for dinner last night.
We'll go ahead and we want to thank all our service vets out there for your service. It's amazing. You guys are awesome.
Except for ones like my dad, they just loaded helicopters. He didn't do much.
But he loaded those helicopters that probably went out and bombed Vietnam.
He didn't load it with bombs. I think it loaded with styrofoam pellets or something.
That had to go to the troops in
Vietnam. Not Vietnam. How fucking old do you think I am?
I don't know. 50.
No. Vietnam.
Yeah, that was the 70s war.
I don't think anyone's still alive. Hardly that was in Vietnam.
There's people still alive from World War II.
Are you being serious?
No. There's wars after that, though, right?
Yes, but your dad is old.
He is older. This is
So
your
I
dad's
figured-
age.
Yeah, so
Probably.
I would figure it'd be about the 70s. Yeah. So therefore,
Whatever.
Vietnam.
All right.
Thank you. God, you're an ass. Go back with your introduction. Tell them about Ecotherapy and
I will stop butchering it. Give us a like and a share on our page on Facebook. Leave some comments. And want to thank Ecotherapy for being a sponsor. And what's the website?
ecotherapycbd.com.
You know, if you just Google Ecotherapy St. Louis, because that's where it's based out, you don't get anything. It was hard to find.
That's why you type in ecotherapycbd.com. And if you use Worse Than 10 link, you can actually get 10% off all your purchases.
That's right. Vapes and mints.
You want to go on and talk about the food? Because she brought some great chicken.
Yeah, what was it?
And
Chicken?
mashed potatoes, green
Baked or
beans,
fried?
and a brown. I don't know what the fuck it was. It wasn't fried. It definitely wasn't grilled.
We know you engulfed it in about 2 minutes. I mean, we were still
It
setting
was
the lights.
delicious.
I couldn't tell what it was. Listeners, Smoking Joe's Barbecue in Olathe.
There you go.
There you go.
Great food. Yep. So how do we do this week? We win, we lose.
Do you want to brag about your 5 and 5?
All right, we can start with me. I won 5 out of 5. First time ever.
Yeah.
I think.
Pretty jealous about that.
Yeah. And I beat Rich 3 times in all 3 leagues. And Biden technically is going to be president. But I don't want to upset anyone by saying all the votes are already counted. But
he's going to be president.
So I know. But it was a perfect week. In the Bills beat the Seahawks, I thought about just blowing my brains out because the best possibly get any better. Every week of my life after this one,
it's progressively going to get worse.
It's going to be, it's all downhill.
Testicles are just going to keep growing further down. And okay, well, you've got a machete here. We can just 3 and 5. I fucking lost to our producer over there in our Vampire League who beat me by, I think, 4 or 5 points, something like that. I needed 10 points.
New England defense.
New England's defense against the New York Jets.
Mm.
Joe Flacco was their quarterback. That should have happened.
Well,
And then I needed only another 7 points in the 14-man league to beat the number 1 guy, all the Escalades.
That's me every week.
And lost
me too.
again because of New England's defense.
You actually have I'm playing you this week. You have an amazing team. I
Thank
can't
you.
believe you're not in first
Thank
place.
you.
Like, it's all-star.
it is
This
not-
team in that league is amazing.
It doesn't reflect the results. I lost again this week.
I know.
I lost
That
actually
league's
all of
tough.
them. But
Oh, you
I'm-
lost all of them?
all of them. Yeah.
How many?
I only played 2 this year, and then DraftKings every week,
Oh, okay.
which I
I
had
lost
my
that one by
ass
10
kicked in
points.
DraftKings too. But yeah, I'm 2-7 in that Fox league, and with you
Guys
guys,
got a better record than you. Yes.
I know.
You do, yeah. You have a-
3-6.
almost all my leagues. I mean, just like what Nick said, 7, 6, 4-point losses, or have a 20-point lead. I'm like, fuck, I have this. Check back 2 hours later. You're like, God damn it, they caught back up. You know,
everything
and then
could swing. So
that PPR league's tough, man. That particular
yeah,
one,
it is. Yeah.
that 14-man PPR.
I have the 14-man league. I always have had a rough time since it started because I draft so like I'm scared
Right.
when I draft because there's such a long
You,
way
you
when
have
they
to
come
be
back.
very careful, and
So-
you've got to pick the right person.
Yeah,
and if
just-
that first round pick gets injured, it's practically
Yep.
wrecked your whole
So
team.
I'm all like I've always had a tough time drafting in that. So I mean, like this is the best season I've had there with 3 wins, and I'm sitting there like,
Really?
I'm good. Yeah, last year I was just trying to get 2 wins to beat Keith and Carl's team to just not be last, and that was the win that year. So I don't know, but that 14-man league's tough. What's the other league you're in? You're in the worse than 10 league
Worse,
as
just the
well.
regular, not the zombie,
Right.
not the vampire. league.
Vampire.
Hey, what's the zombie league?
So
Yeah.
we'll do that one next year.
We will. Okay.
And he's in the coaches too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You are in the coaches one?
No.
So you're in
I mean,
third.
which one is it? I help someone else draft.
Oh, maybe he's not. He's just in the
He's in the
Fox
2
Down
leagues.
with Dave.
So I'm
And then
trying to-
DraftKings. So yeah, so
So-
only 2.
So
Okay.
coaches.
The
No.
not the non-vampire, the non-vampire.
So you're in the 2
I'm
leagues.
showing me your TDs.
So you're the 2 leagues that aren't a part of this show. The worse than 10
kind of a
vampire
part.
and the worse
Yeah,
than 10
Well, I'm
league.
not in the
Kind of a part.
vampire league,
Yeah.
no.
Dick. Why the hell do we have him on the show?
But to be fair, we do have a DraftKings that you're not a part of.
Oh.
I spent how much money on 5
We don't-
fucking fantasy leagues?
We don't need to get him interested in other forms of sports betting.
All right.
That's
Do you want me to
True.
take your money?
yeah. I mean, God help me or you if they open a fucking
There's a
sports
reason-
betting place
Oh my
and
God.
There's a
legalize
reason
that.
why he
it could be a
fucking
problem,
got Alyssa on there and not me. Because he knows he can beat Alyssa every fucking week in DraftKings.
Well, it's not sexist if it's true. They're like just what do they call them in poker? They're whales or dead fish or what do they call it? They're just easy money. Women picking DraftKings weekly.
Whatever
Thanks for your
you-
donation.
Anyway, what are we going to segue to now?
No, Steven, how'd you do?
2-0.
See, Steven's killing it.
Steven's fucking killing it.
I was not killing it.
What place
he's
are
better
you
than
Where
in?
you
you.
beat me.
I'm 6-3 and in the
Vampire
Vampire
League.
League, and then I'm 5-4 in the regular league.
I think you're in second and 1.
I'm second in Vampire.
Okay.
We've
I
got the
think
same
if
record.
I looked at it yesterday, and like if it started, the playoff started tomorrow, I'd probably be in.
Oh yeah, you
Sneak
definitely.
in,
You just gotta
yeah.
make the top 8. You're
Yeah.
definitely in. You'd be a high seed.
Oh, no. It's like there's a big jumble up at like 4-4. And,
Oh really?
yeah, and then there's a couple other 5-5. Like I'm like 6th or 7th in the league. Let me
Okay.
look that up.
No, the worse than 10
All
league,
right.
yeah. But yeah, he's number 2 in our Vampire League.
Yeah.
And but only we have the same record, which I have been number 1 in that league for like the longest time.
Beat you.
And he
once.
just beat me.
So he'll have the.
Well, it goes by total points.
I think
now.
it does first. Yeah.
So
Or-
as for now, I'm still holding on to my lead in Vampire, number 1 in that one. And then I'm also still number 1 in the other worse than 10 league.
Okay.
Still sitting pretty
I'm in
among-
first, second, third, in those in some order, and then 13th in the Fox and
Somehow.
Hound one.
11th in Fox and Hound. Killing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Killing it.
Well,
I'm in fourth in the one I'm in with Rob, which I'm shocked. I'm doing well.
Oh,
in
are
that
we
one.
playing in is this do we get to play each other in week 10 against Steven? No worse than 10. Ha ha ha. My revenge.
Huh?
It shall happen. It shall happen.
Sixth place. I'm in
not
sixth.
bad.
Oh, I thought you were better off than that, but that's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah. If in the end of the day you'd be fine. I think you're gonna be
The Vampire
fine
League,
anyway.
I'm doing much better.
Yeah.
You started McKinnon this week. So did I.
Yeah.
Finally
He paid off.
Finally paid off.
He was gotten you 11 points the week before. I've been telling
Yeah,
you.
but that
You
was
guys sat there and told
No.
me, no, he didn't get a touchdown. Yes, he did. McKinnon has been a. You guys,
No, the week before that, he got
2
me
weeks.
neg-
Yeah,
Two weeks
okay.
before that, I
he
scored
did.
175 points in the regular league, and McKinnon got me negative
Negative.
fucking 1 point.
Yeah.
Because of the garbage time that
So
they
he's
give him
had
3 carries.
a decent week since then, and then this was a good week, even though it was garbage time. He got that last touchdown. It worked out. I'm definitely starting again this week because I have to, not because I want to. But how about the Chiefs and Bills games? The Chiefs game was kind of a nail biter.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been.
No, I don't think it should have been.
Like our defense. The Panthers exposed our defense. They really showed
Yeah.
our weaknesses at the secondary a lot, and they showed how easy they could just McCaffrey can run all over us if you have a talented back. I mean, it was embarrassing it was embarrassing how bad our defense played, but our offense stuck with it. Kelsey had a monster game.
He did. Do you have a touchdown? I know he had a no. He didn't.
146 yards.
Yeah, I think I
and-
scored like 30 points in PPR with him, and no
No
touchdown.
touchdown.
I was shocked.
Yeah, he
But
had
he
like
does it every week.
4
He's fantastic.
I think he had like 11 receptions for
Yeah.
146 yards. Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
he's a monster.
But the Chiefs have proven that in order to beat them, and they got close, in order to beat them, you got to score 30 or more points.
Yeah.
There's no team that really, the Chiefs are going to tighten up on defense eventually, kind of like last year. They look kind of like where they were in the middle of last
Yeah, I
season.
agree. Yeah,
where they were
and then the
getting-
defense got really good.
Yeah. I don't think that they're just going to go in the second half of the season and just start going south. But they looked rough last week. In the last couple of weeks, they've looked exposed.
Our run defense has really stepped up. It's our secondary that we need to address
Mhm.
a lot. Dirty Dan can't do it all.
No.
He has been
He's been a
trying.
stud.
But yeah, our corners are trash.
What about your
We need to
kicker?
see.
Are you
Mm.
worried about
No.
how many has he missed?
7.
He's missed
7.
7 extra points.
How many field goals?
None.
Oh, none. I thought was it the field goal that he,
Well, he
dunked
missed,
off both
he,
bars, or was
he
that
missed
an
the
extra
48-yarder
point?
last week, finally. I mean, but he's been perfect,
Okay, that's the one he dunked
Yeah.
off both things.
But he
I guess. Yeah,
he's
okay.
missed 7 extra points. That's
Those are kind of
but okay, so he has missed the short 20-yard kick or something like that.
yeah.
But
But he
58,
yeah, there
he
he's
is
twice.
4 for 4 for 50 yards. He's
So what do you
8 for
do?
840.
if you get in the red zone, you just go for it. But if you're like at
Yeah,
35,
I'd
you're like, I
almost
guess we'll
would.
kick
Pat
it.
Mahomes,
Yeah.
fucking throw it. Who
Yeah.
cares?
Mhm.
I mean, you almost would just want to go out and buy it.
But
get
you're not
another
worried
kicker.
about it. You haven't lost a game because of the kicker
No.
yet.
No.
No.
And that's what I was telling my friend. We were texting during the game, and he was talking about how we need to get rid of Bucker, and I was just like, not yet.
No.
I wouldn't worry about it just yet. That or go out and pick up another kicker for short range kicks. I don't know, but
Maybe.
I wouldn't worry about him.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Bills game? We watched the Bills game.
No.
It was amazing. We stomped on your boy Russell Wilson, although he still had a
Good game.
fantastic game.
It's not Russell Wilson's fault. It's that
No, it's
defense.
not. The defense is terrible.
Well, and they even had
Which is
Jamal
worse,
Adams
Dallas
back.
or Seattle's defense?
Seattle's defense.
Really?
Even with Jamal Adams out there, which they traded an arm and a leg for, basically.
Yeah.
Nothing out of him. I mean, he doesn't fit in that system, it seems, and they can't stop
Yeah.
the run. They can't. I mean, you can just throw over them. They're not anything. It's whatever. But Russell Wilson gets to play catch up, and fantasy wise, that is the best thing
It
in the
is.
world.
Anytime somebody does
I
that.
would I love the fact their defense is terrible.
Yeah, that actually works out
Yeah.
well for you. Yeah. So Josh Allen had over 400 yards. I forget the exact number, but it broke it's his new record. 4 touchdowns, and I think 1 rushing. But they said Monday or Sunday after the game, the coach announced, I don't know if you guys do this. I didn't know this till like Tuesday. Josh Allen's grandmother passed away the night before. And nobody said anything until after the game.
Yeah, they didn't make that a
Bill's
story.
Mafia got together and did donations in the amount of $17 up until
This is grandma. That's
2
what
days.
grandparents do.
I
They
know.
die.
I'm not saying, it's like
If it's
everyone
his
shed a tear.
mom,
But the good
then
thing is,
yeah, that's rough.
all right, no, I'm not saying it's rough
Like
for him.
Edison Velquez.
Can I finish? Let me finish.
Okay.
They raised $200,000 and donated to Children's Hospital in his grandmother's
That's
name,
nice.
which all
That's-
Bills fans got together and did that. That's the point of the story.
That's very sweet.
I'm not saying everyone
Edison
feels-
Velquez of the Kansas City Royals. Let's talk about Edison here for a second. In the
All right.
World Series, lost his dad.
Hmm.
They couldn't tell him until after the game because
Ooh.
he went out there and pitched a great game. And we won the World Series because of that.
that game, was that the last game?
I think it was like this game 2 or something.
Oh, okay.
Or something. Volcans, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
But
that game.
That's rough.
and Brett Favre. I'm not saying this was
Yeah, the
rough.
Brett Favre one.
his mom, and then did Monday Night Football had a that's
Exactly.
I
big.
watched that game,
Yeah.
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 I'm just talking about the nice
That's a
donation.
grandma.
Yeah,
A grandma.
people
She was
love their
probably
grandparents.
like 89. I love my grandparents too, but they're gonna die.
Well, all right. That's one way to look at life.
That's
Okay.
what old people do.
So we covered McKinnon, Jake Luton.
Jake
We
Luton
talk
from
about-
Oregon State. I love this kid.
Wow, what a great game!
Big arm, second throw of his career, and he gets that 65, 75-yard touchdown
Yeah.
to DJ Chark.
Taken in the 6th round. Yeah, a huge game. DJ Shark came alive but mainly because of that one long
Big
touchdown.
yeah.
After that one, I think it said he only had like he didn't. They were all like 7-yard
Dings
dump
and
off.
dunks.
Yeah.
Because they were covering they were
butts.
blanketing the
And I
deep
thought
passes.
about like maybe starting him this week.
Oh, no,
he's
not this
playing.
week.
Yeah, he's playing.
You've got
somebody really good. Some good defense.
I looked that up too.
Green Bay.
Green Bay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was
Yeah,
looking at him or
I would do
Alex
that.
Smith to who's the start. And
Alex Smith is the king of dink and dunk right now.
I know,
Yeah.
but you don't get points for dink and dunk. You don't get points for actual,
Yeah.
people catching things. But
But
got Detroit,
impressive, and I think he's going to be started going forward. Maybe somebody look
But-
at it later when against.
I don't mind him. I don't think he's going to be a great fantasy player. And here's the real situation for the Jaguars. What are you going to do if, let's say, you really like this guy? Are you going to do the same Minshew dilemma that you did last year and decide not to go quarterback? Because they had the chance to go for Herbert. They had
Yeah,
a chance to go for Tua. They had a chance to go for Jordan Love. And they went defense, in the first round. So do they do that again if they like Jake Luton? Or do you, because, they could either get Fields right now or Jake.
are they bad enough to get one of those
Yeah,
two?
they're the second worst team in the NFL. They've only got 1 win. They're 1-7.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're going to be a top 3 pick. So do you go that route, or do you like this kid enough, or do you try to go for Trevor Lawrence, or
I
do you
guess
go for
you got
Justin Fields?
8 games to figure it out.
I don't know. It's going to be a rough decision for them because if
Yeah.
they get the 3rd round pick, like number 3 pick, and you don't get one of those top tier quarterbacks, who you stuck with, the BYU kid, or do you go Micah Parsons from Penn State and go linebacker?
Yeah, you got to go deep.
Or do you go offensive line?
That's a question I had. Like, what's Dallas gonna do, and mainly the Jets? Are they gonna take a quarterback? Let's say they take the number 1 pick. Are they giving up on Darnold?
They're talking about this on Monday night for a bit, and they mentioned it all comes down, and I agree with this. If Eric Bieniemy signs with the Jets and he's their new head coach, I would be Trevor Lawrence, and I would enter the draft, and I would go to the Jets. I'd be okay with it.
Well, he's going to enter the draft anyway. He's a senior, right?
No.
Oh, can he play
Trevor
another
Lawrence
year?
is a junior. He's
Okay.
he
got
has
another
to
year.
announce it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Justin Fields would be the next guy up, and he'll be the number 1 pick if Trevor Lawrence doesn't go. Either way, I think the Jets, if I were the Jets, I'd trade my number 1 pick away and get as many draft picks as I can and stick with Darnold. Build that O-line. They've got a great tackle in Becton. Give him more weapons. Give him a guard. get him a running back. Give
Yeah.
yourself some draft capital and give Darnold a chance. And then if he can't do it after you give him a chance, then, piss him away or whatever. But
Yeah, there's going to be more quarterbacks.
yeah, but this Trevor Lawrence is it depends on the coach situation. You know, Gase isn't going to be there. He's fucking
probably won't be.
awful.
Yeah.
But if Eric Bieniemy's there, I'd want to be a part of that. I mean, he's an exciting coordinator. He's got a lot of fun little trick plays.
Yeah,
that
he
likes
does.
to do.
Yeah. God, it would be sad to see him go to leave the Chiefs, but that's what happens when you're too good. You get hired away.
We've already seen Matt Nagy go and
Yeah.
Doug Peterson. It's okay. We're used to it.
How about McCaffrey? He put on a fucking clinic against the Chiefs, and
Back
then got
in his
hurt
foot.
again.
Yeah.
Man, I can't. Any of you guys have McCaffrey?
No,
I would be
BJ does.
tearing. Well, fuck him. I would be tearing my hair. I did. Man, he's not. They say he's not going to start this week.
Yeah.
I looked everywhere for Mike Davis. Everyone was dumb enough to dump Mike Davis last week, and nobody did.
He just ran too hard against the Chiefs. That's all it is. He
Yeah.
just ran.
He
fucking
was
running all
he
over.
was the only player that was worth any value. I mean, what do you think was going to happen whenever you're being overutilized? I mean, it's just like you're.
You mean McCaffrey in one game?
Well, look at your. Okay, let's say you take your car for a drive and you push it and you just jam on that gas
Yeah.
and you just drive it hard. It's going
They
to
ran
break.
him hard for being
They-
gone that many weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They didn't ease him back into the offense.
No.
They didn't give him split carries. They just
Yeah.
said, "You're in. You're getting 80% of these carries today. Deal with it." That's what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Huh.
There's a reason why whenever players come back from injury, they're still splitting
Yeah.
carries.
Yeah,
They
makes
didn't do
sense.
that. And they just said McCaffrey's the man. We're gonna. Yeah, they fucked him and
Yeah.
they fucked BJ over twice.
Yeah,
And
I'm okay with fucking BJ over. Oh, and the vampire update we didn't touch on. He
He won
did not.
again.
He did win, and he got Derrick Henry.
Wow.
So now, tell me, say what you said. What
All
are
right,
his?
so the
or should I
players,
just look
the
it up?
players he's won.
Okay.
He's won Pat Mahomes, which he traded away for Deshaun Watson and another wide receiver. But he won Pat Mahomes. He has won Devontae Adams from Steven, right? He won Christian McCaffrey from Dell, and then he just won Derrick Henry. Now he's going up against
Oh my God.
Brandon with Kamara,
Yeah,
and he's going
who
for Kamara.
Going to take.
Who he's going to win because Brandon's team is not very good either. He's going to have 5 players. That team.
It's going to be almost unstoppable. Like his team actually needs some COVID and some injuries
Yeah,
to slow him down.
It's fucking disgusting. God damn it,
Should have-
DJ.
Glad
Yeah.
I'm not in that league.
But
Yeah,
it's
That would be,
It's like feast or famine.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the worst part is he's doing so much better in this league.
And we have like
And
6
then-
more weeks to go before playoffs, right? So he can
Yeah.
acquire 6 more.
He's
it's gonna
0
be
and
a super-
9.
It's going to be a super team.
It's like
You
a
guys.
snowball.
He's got to have one bad off week where no one's hitting, and with that many fucking players,
Yeah.
good God.
He's 0 and 9 in the team that he actually drafted in the worst
Yeah.
from 10
And
league.
the other one.
Yeah, he hasn't won a game
He
yet.
hasn't won a game yet. He's got Lamar Jackson
should at
and
least
Christian
by now-
McCaffrey.
You could have won a game on accident.
Right.
By now.
And yet
Yeah.
he has, and he even texted me halfway through whenever McCaffrey gets his second touchdown because he was playing me in that league and he's got McCaffrey and Lamar Jackson. He goes, my team's gonna be pretty good now, and McCaffrey's back.
Wait, is this the league where he drafted AJ Green in the first
Yep,
round?
and Antonio Brown and
God.
Alshon Jeffrey. Fuck
Oh.
him.
He took
Yeah.
some flyers. Let's talk about San Diego's problem running back.
Los Angeles.
Oh my God, yes.
I know
thank
so
you.
hard.
I even wrote down
did that- I did
SD.
that yesterday.
Dude,
did
I
that
do it all.
yesterday.
I called them the Redskins. I called the
I called the
Raiders.
Raiders Oakland today.
Oakland. Yeah, I do it all the time.
God.
The running back situation.
Justin Jackson, Josh Kelly, and Keenan Balaj, which was on the practice squad. They elevated. They just put him back on the practice squad
Yeah.
too. I'm like, who? I've heard nothing about Eckler at all,
Well,
which I have in one league.
I still think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna play anymore
He's
this
been-
season.
You don't?
No, I think he's done.
He's been
for the
seen
season.
jogging.
I know, but I wouldn't really trust it.
Justin Jackson's injured. I don't think he's going to play this week. Kelly, it seems like they do not want to make him the starter. Do you get that feeling?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to do? Just
Let
turn
Herbert
into
throw
let
it.
Herbert just throw it?
Throw the ball. You've got
Man.
enough wideouts. Spread the offense
You do.
out and just let it go.
Because I would love to have a piece of the equity of that offense because it's pretty dynamic.
Yeah.
But there's no clear choice.
No, and the running back situation out there was always kind of iffy after Eckler went down. Because it started off Justin Jackson one week, and then the next week it was Kelly. And then
Yeah,
it was
after
Jackson,
Eckler went
and then-
down.
Yeah. And it's
You don't think he'll come back? What is it, a grade 2?
I just don't think they're going to risk it.
He said,
I think the season's lost, and so they don't want to rush him back, and they don't want him to.
is it
re-injure.
lost, though? How many wins they have? 4? 5?
2.
Oh,
Yeah, they're not having a great
Oh,
season.
I
They
thought
look
Chargers-
good.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
Oh, yeah, I guess don't rush him back.
so it 2-6. Like
Okay.
they're competitive in every game, and they play well. And Herbert's going to be the rookie of the year.
Yeah.
But it's you don't want to risk a long-term injury, especially with a dynamic running back like Eckler who can do the McCaffrey shit, like
Yeah.
go receiving and rushing. You don't want to push. You don't want to do what the Panthers did with McCaffrey, rush him back just so you can get one big game.
Yeah.
So I think they're playing it smart, not risking it, not rushing him back. They've got this, like you said, a trio
So
of
do
running
you,
backs.
yeah. Do you think he's safe to drop then?
Yeah,
Drop him?
I would have
in your
dropped him
leagues?
a long time ago.
Man, I've been holding on to him.
I wouldn't. I would have gotten rid of him a long time ago.
All right, maybe I'll drop him. Fuck. All right. I heard they just did a rule. I don't know too much about this, but they may extend the playoffs from 14 to 16 teams if there's makeup games to still be made. Is that right?
That's what I
only
heard.
I don't see that
if
happening.
games
no.
build up to.
I don't think they will though.
So it's a. I don't think it's passed yet, but it's an option.
Well, I
they
heard
were
all
saying.
owners unanimously
Unanimously
agreed.
on it,
Yeah. But
But
maybe it hasn't.
I don't think it's passed through the whole process yet of being passed through like the NFLPA and
Okay.
the Players Association. But supposedly what it's for is if, let's say, there's more teams that have to, like, let's say you've already had a bye and you need to have you have to have another bye because of the COVID situation. I believe that it's going to, they'll have like an extended game, and then they'll have more playoff teams, 16 and have an 8. That's the rumor I heard. I don't exactly know how it's going to affect, but it gives some teams it helps push some of those middle range teams
Yeah.
like Cleveland
Like Vegas.
and Vegas.
Yeah.
You really
Give them a shot.
have that shot to really push themselves into it.
All right. Doesn't really affect fantasy though.
No,
But
and it doesn't affect the Chiefs. We're in. matter
no.
what.
Yeah, you're in
Yeah.
no matter what. Yeah.
We're fine.
We're good.
How about Big Ben? He has COVID now. We're in one league. I think it's one I run. I actually have a COVID IR. I just realized that I had that like last week. I didn't do it though. It like came
Did,
automatically. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other leagues we're in don't do that. It's weird.
The-
So I have a COVID IR spot and extra bench spots. Like my team's in North, it's almost too big.
yeah, is this the
I think it's the coaches.
coaches league?
Yeah.
I think this is the one because I
Stafford
noticed that
came
I have
off
a
it.
lot of players on
Yeah.
my bench. And I'm like,
I don't remember.
and I'm okay with it. Like I'm
Yeah.
not arguing.
I added like one bench spot, but it seems like
but it's
it's
nice
too
to
big
have
now.
those bench spots because I don't know who the fuck's going to be hurt or what's
Yeah,
going to
you
happen.
don't.
And the Big Ben thing came out of nowhere.
yeah.
I was going to bench him because he didn't give me shit for points last week.
He did. He had a great game last week. He had over 30 points.
did.
The score wasn't good against the Cowboys, but he put on a clinic.
Against the
Yes. He had
no,
a great game.
you're right. He did.
Yeah.
The point system in my brother's
Okay.
the family league with the 2 QBs, it's tilted differently.
Okay.
That's right.
But he did
So-
injure both of his knees. Apparently he'll be fine.
He's Big Ben.
I'm still planning on starting him this week if he clears
I put him on the bench for
COVID thing.
who did I
Because it
start?
doesn't say he
Alex
actually
Smith.
has it. But he's
They
been
just
in
put him on
close
the
contact.
COVID.
He's been in close contact with people that have tested. So
Yeah, like
He has
Matt
to
So
Stafford.
then
isolate.
he'll probably start.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
It's become a new
yeah.
way to like fuck with teams like a week
Kind
before.
of is.
Like they said, they're
It
like,
is.
oh no, he's on COVID, but then you take him off that list. Like Stafford was on that COVID list
He's not
all
twice.
week last week.
Yeah.
And then game time decision, he passes by, and guess
Well,
who's
you gotta
able to start?
Gotta keep it on eye
So-
on your lineup.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It's a lot
It
tougher
is.
this year. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta. I tell you what. I was watching at noon. I was keeping an eye on Ezekiel Elliott, whether he was going to start or not, or it was going to be Pollard. And I picked up Pollard.
I saw you pick him up.
And I'm waiting for this update, waiting. And next thing I know, the game started, and they never gave an update. And it was kind of a timeshare. I think Ezekiel had most of the carries, but I was like, shit. So I started the wrong guy. I ended up winning.
Why
anyway,
would you
but-
want? I wouldn't want a Dallas running back right now.
Well, I don't want, but
Like I would trade Ezekiel. If I had
I
Ezekiel
would
Elliott
love
on my
to.
lineup,
What-
I would.
what do you give me
shop
for him?
Nobody.
well,
I
then
don't
fuck
want
you.
But I'm just saying, like, and I've been
I
trying
can't
to.
get. I can't get anything.
I've been
for
trying
him.
to shop Amari Cooper, and I
Yeah,
would.
Amari Cooper. Yeah, no,
But-
God, he fucking
But
blows.
Ezekiel
I don't know
Elliott,
which one would be worse.
But Ezekiel Elliott at this point, I think you can. People will bite on
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott, and you could probably get yourself a legit one or another running back for him. I would. That's what I would do with him. Shop him, buddy.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what our trade deadline is for fantasy.
I don't know.
It's got to be coming up soon. All right. Well, I'll look into that. Oh, we have a listener question. I gotta,
You gotta find it.
no, well, I haven't saved here. Somebody grade my team at week 10 or going into week 10. What do you think of this team? All right. You ready? I'm just going to run down it.
Why didn't you send this to Steven ahead of time, and he could have put it up on the monitor for us?
It wouldn't work out, trust me, and I'll explain why afterwards.
Okay.
Joe Burrow, DJ Shark, Jerick McKinnon, Dallas Goddard at tight end, then Zach Moss, Tim Patrick from Denver. That's like the number 3 guy. Duke Johnson, not the other one. And here's the bench: Ronald Jones, Kenyon Drake, injured. We'll see. Kirk Cousins, the backup. Travis Kelce on a bye. Calvin Ridley on a bye.
You want me to just grade it?
Yeah,
C minus.
He's tough.
that's better
a
than
tough
I
one.
would give. What do you think?
That would probably be a C. Yeah.
Yeah, C plus.
Oh, I'd give it a D.
Yeah.
And here's why I couldn't give it to Steven. That's my team in the Fox Down League.
Are you serious?
That's where I'm at right now. This is how fucking
Oh,
terrible.
I play you.
I know.
All
You're
right.
supposed to
thank
line
God.
up. That's why I didn't want to
I
send
haven't
Steven
looked
because
at
you're
your
going to
roster
see.
yet.
Oh, it's bad. I am
I knew it was
literally the
awful. I didn't know it was that
49ers.
awful.
I'm just riddled with injury and
Oh, my
complacency
fucking God.
to where I'm down to starting Joe Burrow.
Who is probably not going to do shit this week?
Who's the
Not against
Cincinnati
Pittsburgh.
player?
They'll- Pittsburgh. But they'll be in keep-up mode the whole time.
They'll throw a
But
bunch down.
that's he'll throw a bunch.
Mika
but he's probably
Fitzpatrick
gonna
will
throw
get
a couple picks.
interceptions
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad. And I won with this roster. It
God,
was
you have
actually
like, I think
worse
you have
last
like one or two sit-ems on my list later in this.
Zach Moss.
I think I
You
have
got
some
a
of
couple
those on my sit-ems
I
too.
said Zach Moss. I'm like, oh, fuck this one.
I know. Now, Zach Moss did have a touchdown last week,
And
and he was the starter for it. Yeah. I had to
Jesus.
pick up Tim Patrick. It's bad. I tried to get McKissick. I couldn't get him. But that's where I'm at now. Washington running
God,
back.
my
And
God.
I couldn't get him, so I'd take the number 3 guy in Dallas. It's bleak. I was going to say, I'm on my way back, but Daniel has a fucking
Yeah.
really good team.
Let's take a look at what I can trade you for.
Yeah, you might as well farm my team. I mean, because it's not going anywhere.
Let's take a look here. Like, could you give? What would you give me for Travis Kelce?
He's probably the only one. That's
I
gonna
have
get
tried.
points.
Oh, for that.
Whoa, but he's off. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
bye
off.
week.
And Ridley. I mean, that I like both of them, but
Oh,
they have the same
shit.
bye week, so I'm totally super
Fuck.
fucked. Like, you just have to have like the
Like,
worst
I would
week ever.
trade you James
You have to-
Robinson for like 5 of your players.
Yeah. Did you see Daniel trip over his own dick this week?
It happens at least 3 times a year, so
Yeah.
it could happen.
God. The hat bet I want to talk about. We had a bet for the Arizona-Miami game. He said Miami would win. I thought it was crazy.
That defense
Arizona
is
ended up winning.
legit.
Arizona won, or I'm sorry, Miami won that game, so I owe him a hat. So that's on the way. It's a Chiefs salute to service, and it's Veterans Day.
So it's
So
nice.
So
Get
it's
it.
funny. I completely I knew that we had a bet. I did not know what the bet was for.
So I could have totally lied, like, dude, you owe me a hat.
Like
Nick would have paid.
He would have
it.
just
He
bought a
would've
hat.
I was gonna have to
honest.
listen. I was gonna listen to the show just so I
Yeah.
could figure out what our bet was. 'Cause I could
Ah.
not remember for the life of me. What the fuck did we bet on? And then he called me the other day and told me, "So I got your hat in the mail." I was like, "So what did we bet
So
again?"
did I? I guess I won.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Ooh, you
and
should
I was able to pick
look
up
this up on
Miami's
YouTube
defense
for
in
one
like
chip
3
count.
different leagues this week. I love that defense. I
Yeah.
love what Flores is
Mhm.
doing out there, and I keep
We're
telling
doing
him
that
every
well, not
week.
we, but he's going to.
Buffalo-
He doesn't know it yet.
Buffalo is going to lose that division,
We'll see.
and Miami is going to win that. That division will
I
be all
completely
Miami.
disagree.
Of course
but
you do. You're a Buffalo
We can
fan.
bet. We can bet something else if you want, but you won't remember. I'll have to write it on the paper. So, and then also next week, it should be. It might be here by Wednesday. It might be the one after that, which will be a show the day before Thanksgiving. I ordered one chip from that company. It's $26. It's a ghost pepper chip. Watch this, and you're gonna eat it, and then we're gonna talk about football.
This is such a Nick thing to do. By
Oh,
the
I
way.
know.
It's brilliant.
So it's just one chip.
Oh, yeah. It's,
After I saw it probably a couple years ago at this point, man. It's old news, but I finally got my hands on it.
but it's a ghost pepper, right?
Yeah, ghost
Didn't
pepper
we
chip.
watch Graham do a ghost pepper challenge?
I don't know.
Dude, I don't-
Graham didn't do it.
I had the wrong thing. Sorry.
It doesn't matter. We don't
Well,
need to watch the
basically-
video. So I'm gonna eat a ghost chip and then do
Yeah.
the show. Yeah, that's not
We'll
a
just
problem.
skip to the part
10
where he
minutes
puts it.
long.
I hope you
We'll
have a
just
glass
skip to
of
the
milk
part where he
ready.
puts it in his mouth. He talks about it for fucking ever.
'Cause
Trying to
he's
get
fucking
YouTube
scared.
followers.
Or get YouTube followers.
And I feel like the ghost pepper that I bought, Graham, like, was it a real one, or I got screwed, or I don't know.
Just bring me some ranch dressing. We'll be fine.
Oh, Graham did do one.
But it was actual ghost pepper. But I feel like it wasn't.
Yeah.
I feel like I got screwed. But this is for real.
See, he's chewing it too long. What kind of idiot are you? It's a
What do you-
chip. The fuck
I would
is he
have
doing?
milk.
Look at him. He's
I
still
wouldn't have water.
chomping.
I'm gonna
I'd
have-
have to have milk.
I'm gonna have
I'm do-
milk here. They say milk, yogurt, or ice cream,
That's
but
ranch dressing.
I have ranch dressing.
That's what I
ranch
want.
dressing.
That's
Is that
thick.
oh.
Thick, cold. I'll just chug it. Or gravy.
Nick's done this before.
Yeah,
He's
well,
done versions of this before.
I've done the blazing
Fast forward like 10
challenges.
minutes, I bet he's like, hopefully he's freaking out. But you eat the chip in the beginning, and then we'll do like our show, and we'll see how we'll check in with you.
Okay.
Travis Kelce did it 2 or 3 years ago. He kind of struggled through it, but
Well, I figure it's going to be rough once you get it down there.
Takes a
But
minute.
did you see how long the guy was chewing on the damn thing?
it
I know.
was a long
We all
chew.
know-
Yeah, some
Like,
people
You
chew-
don't. We know you don't chew your fucking
You
food.
fucking sit there, you take a couple bites, and you just swallow the damn
because
thing.
all that shit's in his tongue now. Like,
Yeah. This is
Nick has it done.
You, like,
Nick
you
has it
sit
right.
there
Like, why would you chew that long?
yeah,
Like,
you're putting more of those
Just swallow it whole.
crumbs
That-
inside of your
they'll-
like teeth.
Uh,
So you start picking at them, and they come
yeah.
like that.
All right,
he
we'll
fucked
see.
himself over. He's an idiot.
All right. We'll
This is
see.
this is why.
But are you
Nick
think
knows
it'll be
food.
fun?
No, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be painful. It's a ghost pepper.
Well, have
Am
you
I-
ever had ghost pepper? Either?
Yes, multiple times.
Yeah, but it's not a thing. You like hot stuff.
yes,
Okay,
but
see,
I mean,
I
like
don't.
you dice it and you put it in, like you cook with it and stuff like that. But I mean, like I don't sit there and just eat the damn thing by itself. You take a little sliver and you chop it up and you
All
put it
right.
on your
Well, I'm
chicken.
excited. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be disappointing because you're expecting us to have like a YouTube video and you're going to
No,
sit there
no.
and you're going to see me do this and you're going to be like, holy shit, he just killed that chip. He's going to ask for seconds here soon.
Well, I only bought one. They're
$26, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be disappointed that I didn't get more. Like Taiwan fucking idiot guy.
All right.
I
We'll
could have
take
my
a break.
own
Yeah.
food
We'll
eating
come back and
contest.
we'll do waivers and sit and starts for week 10.
I like it.
Ooh, and then we'll talk. Well, we kind of already touched on it.
I'm pretty proud of it.
Should be.
Oh. Irish people try Valentine's Love Stream Live. What the fuck's a love stream?
I don't want to know.
Sure, Bart remix. My mom would never flirt in front of me.
Oh shit! Her pants is running.
She has cancer. I'm pretty sure
You're
it's
just
part of
making
it.
excuses.
I'm not making excuses. I'm just.
What Charo did on episode 500. So check this out.
That's his mom?
He calls it Charo.
Okay,
Oh, I've
this is
seen
his
this.
mom. This makes more sense.
Charo Bart.
Oh,
And then so
that's quality.
smile. And that smile.
Yeah.
So proud right now.
She let her rip, Tater Chip. Woo! I don't think I've let one out that long. I don't know, Nick, have you?
I don't fart.
You don't fart?
I'm pretty.
No, he farts all the time.
God,
That's
I've
his
heard,
wife.
I've
that,
heard you.
that gal that he's with is his wife.
I think I definitely fart more than anyone
Comedian
else.
also.
You've farted on the show, and
Yeah.
it's I think the mics have caught it.
Oh yeah.
Because, you know, we're trying to get the 16-year-old and 15-year-old people that listen to podcasts with our
Yeah.
fart humor.
Yeah.
Well,
Idiots.
Everyone loves farting. That's funny in like every country.
Is it though?
It is.
It's
Farting's hilarious.
childish in every, country.
That's how you get the kids in.
That's like,
Gotta bring
okay,
the
so
kids
there's
involved.
like, on the hierarchy of humor, there's like satirical, whatever.
Satirical.
Whatever. But farts are down at the bottom of this
So
list,
satire.
right? Like there it goes, like here's the bottom. It goes puns, mimes, farting. And then you get into like
Let's-
all the other stuff.
Mimes are. You mean mimes like the people that go like this?
Yes,
Those are not funny. Those are
exactly.
scary.
That's why it's below farting.
Hmm.
But puns are the
But
lowest
puns.
form.
When you can let a good fart out, though,
Oh my
I mean,
God.
there's
I can't believe we're
something-
talking about farting,
there's-
and yet you guys won't let me talk about porn on this, and yet we get to talk about farts on this goddamn show.
I didn't bring it up, Steven.
God damn it.
Show the
Let's
video
go on and tell your fart story.
Well, there's nothing like a good fart to let. I mean, you laugh. There's Nick has farted in one of the earlier episodes, and it was caught. And this guy's going farting. Oh my God!
I know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You've probably
Find the episode, prove it.
I will find it.
I want proof.
All right.
We'll put it on the Worse Than 10
I
Facebook
want a
page.
recount.
And right. Anyway, we're gonna talk
file
about
a lawsuit. File a lawsuit in the state of Kansas about this
Relax,
so-called
Trump.
farting episode. I don't believe it exists.
It's,
All right.
Fraudulent.
Anyway.
Let's talk about waivers.
Fraudulent
Let's talk
episode.
about waivers.
Waiver wire this week.
Yeah.
Did you add anyone?
I had to find defenses. So I've been looking at defense. I was able to pick up the Cleveland's defense. They're playing Houston. I'm not excited about it. It's going to be a rough matchup. But I know that Myles Garrett
But
still
you're
gets
doing this
sacks.
only because you dropped New England.
New
You're
England's
done with
defense.
that.
I'm
defense.
done with it. And you, everybody who's listens to us.
Huh?
What?
Steven's shaking his head.
Keep New England.
Oh no! So I wouldn't like the whole New England's defense. I'm done with it, and everybody knows how high I was on them this whole offseason.
No pun
and
intended.
Yeah, all puns intended. But
Because puns are down here with mine.
yeah, exactly. Right? They're below mimes.
What about memes? Memes are funny. Are they?
They're
above
up.
or-
But they're
Stay
above
focused.
farting. But okay, so I've dropped New England's defense. If they don't have
Yeah.
Gilmore, they're not worth a damn. So I
Should he be back this week though?
maybe I'm still not going to give a
All right.
shit. I'm done with them. So I picked up Cleveland's defense. I think Myles Garrett's going to get a couple sacks. He's always
Yeah.
done well.
He's
So
up for Defensive Player of the Year.
yeah, I
Leads in voting right now.
and Houston loves to air the ball out. I'm hoping to get some sacks that
Yeah.
route. Miami's defense I picked up in a couple other
I can't believe
leagues.
you got that.
So I was pretty stoked about that. Other than that, though, I didn't really have to pick up much. The one thing I did pick up was a backup quarterback for Ben Roethlisberger, who's on COVID. I've got the 2 quarterback league that I'm in. I've been starting Herbert and Roethlisberger. With Roethlisberger and COVID, I put him on the bench. I picked up Alex Smith. I like that matchup against Detroit. He's a dink and dunk type guy, but I think this is going to be a great game for Alex Smith to kind of really build up some
Hopefully Dinks and Dunks
confidence.
around the red zone.
Exactly.
Get some scores.
I'm hoping this
Terry
will build some
McLaurin
confidence.
did have that. Terry McLaurin's amazing. He gets that really long run.
I
and then-
think he's going to use Logan Thomas.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get their McKissick who started. I really think this is going to be a turnaround point for the Redskins to really make that playoff push. And call me old-fashioned. I really hope Alex Smith gets to the playoffs. I
I do
really
too.
kind of want this to be a
I'll
great
never call
story.
you old-fashioned, but that would be they could win that whole division.
Yeah, it's still up in the air. So that's basically it, though, waiver-wise, because me and Daniel were talking about it very much earlier. There's not much out there to really look at and grab.
There's
so
not.
I kind of just
I have a point about that, but I don't want to hear if Daniel made me. I want to hear what everyone's moves first, and then tell you what CBS Sports.
Well, no,
Fantasy
like what
said
Nick was
about-
saying, there isn't a lot of people. If you have someone like J.D. McKissick, which in our league, he's not available. I don't
He's
think.
not. He was. I tried for him. I couldn't get him. Somebody else had a higher
But
priority.
in other people, if you can get him, I would pick him up because he's
You
the
should,
best
yeah.
running back that may be available.
Now
in
today,
your
when you
league.
hear this podcast,
Right.
it'll be Wednesday night or Thursday
he's
morning.
probably fucking gone.
The waiver wire ended this morning, pretty much. So
But he would be probably the best available running back. After that, it gets to be pretty slim to the point
Yeah.
of do I fucking pick this guy up or not? Rashard Higgins of Cleveland is another guy you might want to look at, which was dropped by just about everyone after that Raiders game 2 weeks ago. And and Odell,
because they were going on a bye, also.
right, but he's a starter in Cleveland, and Odell. I know they're not the greatest passing team, but Cleveland. I mean, Beckham's gone. You still got him.
yeah,
I mean,
that's a great.
I
Did you
don't
pick him up or?
I didn't need him
Okay.
in one of my teams, but he was out there. I said, well, people are going to probably pick him back up.
I have him buried on one of my benches.
Yeah, I mean, he might be a flex player if you need him.
It's rough to find that number 2 target in Cleveland right now because Baker's been using People Jones. He's been using everyone else under the window out there.
People that nobody's heard of.
Exactly. And Higgins has he's probably the most talented. For some reason, he's not getting the targets either. And that's why whenever I looked at him, I passed on him because I just said, if he's not going to get the targets, Chubb's supposed to be coming back.
That's true.
Are they going to be double running it again with Hunt and Chubb again? I mean, that's what I would do if I were them. The Higgins idea is smart because he's talented. But if the targets aren't there, I can't trust that to pick up.
I don't know. I would think they'd be there. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a race to the highest points wins the game with these two, even though Houston's supposed to be a lot better than they actually are. They're still putting up a lot of points.
After the firing of
fantasy points.
What's his name?
Yeah,
Cornell's taken
it's gotten
over.
better.
They've let Watson kind of run more of the offense of what he wants to do. I mean, he's airing it out to Will Fuller every week, and Fuller's putting up some big numbers.
Yeah, I wish I had gotten him. And you didn't make any other moves?
No, not
Steven, did you make any moves? None? Steven doesn't have to make fucking moves.
Fuck.
Steven,
his bench is better than my starting lineup in the 14-man league.
After week 2,
I'm serious.
After week 2, he's avoided the injury bug. You lost 2 great players, and then after that,
I picked up. I switched out my kicker because Buckner was on a bye this week, so I don't know who the fuck I picked. I picked up anybody, honestly.
Yeah.
And I did. I dumped him, and because it's frustrating.
You might be able to get him again.
Maybe, and if not, then a kicker is a kicker. I don't think I'm going to be losing more shit ton of points
because of your kicker now.
Yeah. I think that's really all I picked up this week because that was my only hole that I needed. So.
All right. I went
kind of have that problem.
I went shopping at fucking NFL Costco again this week, mostly in my 14-person league, but I did pick up Duke Johnson in that one. Going to use him for one game. The other Johnson is not playing. Still in concussion protocol. David is not practiced.
Yeah, I'm
so
having a
he's
rough
going to be
time
the
with
starter.
him.
I picked up Tim Patrick. It was literally the best player available in our 14-person league. I picked up New Orleans defense versus San Fran. I think that's in the one league that I'm streaming defenses. And then I need a tight end for Kelsey. 14-person league again. No, not that one. Some other one.
Yeah, 14-man league.
I picked up Jimmy Graham. I already had Goddard, I think, in that league, but I have Jimmy.
Why would you want Dallas Goddard? He hasn't done a damn thing.
I don't know. I'm hoping he does.
So let me take
And
players out here available
in
in your 14-man league that I think are better
Okay.
than these players that you picked up. DJ Moore in Seattle. He is available to pick up right now. He has
what is he?
oh no, that's David Moore. I'm sorry. I'm
DJ Moore
DJ
starts for Carolina. He's,
yeah. Dave wouldn't go that way. Randall Cobb for Houston. I'd probably go that route.
Is he doing
Anthony
I
Miller
don't think he's
is
done much.
available.
Anthony
He's
Miller,
playing
I like.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's a very weak defense out there.
I might switch that
Chicago
up. We'll
could
see.
pick that up.
I think he's only on there because I dropped him.
That doesn't surprise
Yeah.
me. I love how Edelman's just
Yeah, not
falling
touching
back.
it.
Bird for New England. He's been a very favored target for Cam Newton. Okay.
I'll
I think
pass.
that's about it, though.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna stick with what I got.
DeMarcus Robinson. Pick him up and sit on him even though he's on a
No.
bye.
Curtis Samuels, I picked up in a couple other leagues.
If he's
I
available.
couldn't believe he was available.
I know.
He
If
is
he's available.
lit it up the last couple weeks. He's getting
Lit it up against the Chiefs.
3 touches as
Running
running
back.
back, and,
Yeah.
and he's running it into the end zone, and he's a fantastic wide receiver. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Gonna roll the dice, but I do want to say CBS Sports said this week when I listened to it that this is one of the best weeks for waiver. Like there's the best players, and I
Really?
absolutely disagree.
Where?
Exactly.
CBS.
So let,
Where?
so let me
Tell me.
let me read you. I'm going to read the top 15, and you tell me. Anyone just chime in if
Okay.
you would take any of these players for someone else. Jalen Reagor for Philadelphia,
No.
I wouldn't
not
start
for
him.
someone you had. No,
No. Yeah.
Not a starter.
Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
I picked him up, but I'm not starting him.
Yeah.
It. By the way, it
Pick
has
up or start him.
either. Let's say pick up.
Let's just say
Let's
pick
say
up.
yeah.
When I pick him
I
up-
picked him
I
up, but
pick
didn't
up
start him.
Curtis.
You say both. J.D. McKissick.
Yeah.
Maybe, but he's not available now. This is like Tuesday's waiver. Jordan Wilkins.
No, I was
I don't
disappointed
know.
in him last week.
I'm going to stick with Taylor. I hope it were Duke Johnson that did that. Austin Hooper for Cleveland.
No.
Jacoby Myers for New England.
Who?
The number 3
Yeah,
wide
right.
receiver.
I know.
Once N'Keal Harry comes back, and
J.K. Dobbins is available right now in our 14-man league.
that's because I dropped him
Yeah.
because he didn't do shit. Gus Edwards, he's not even available.
I picked
Tony
him up.
Pollard,
I love Gus Edwards.
He's on a bye. Tim Patrick, I did. Jimmy Graham, Michael Pittman, Baker Mayfield, Darnell Mooney for
who's
Chicago.
Chicago?
Who the fuck is that?
So we'll go back to Jimmy Graham. Who are they playing?
Jimmy
Minnesota,
Graham
right?
is playing Minnesota. He's
Yeah.
gonna have a good week.
I'd pick him up.
I did in one.
I'd pick him up and start him.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you could start him as a flex too. I,
I-
think
yeah.
he could.
I think he could have
Do
a
something
big
there.
game this week. Yeah, 5 touchdowns. Like I think this is.
He's been hot.
Foles really likes
I mean,
him.
from that list,
Graham, I would totally pick up and start. Like I'm kind of.
there's some possible pickups there.
Shit, I might
but
pick
you
him.
would
Fuck.
I'm
you wouldn't
looking at
call
that
this
right now.
fucker.
you wouldn't call
I
this
mean,
the best
look at us.
waivers week.
No, I
You
wouldn't.
know,
No, I
10
wouldn't.
weeks.
No, that's bullshit.
It's pretty bleak.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's
You're
bullshit.
you're scraping the ball in the barrel in week 10 if you grab any of those guys. That's my only point.
Junior. Knox had
So we have start him and sit him.
Yeah,
I'll go
start
ahead.
him.
I'll
What do
look at
you want to do first? Start or
We'll do
sit?
start. him
All right.
first.
You want to start the
I'll
start?
start the
All right.
starts. I'd actually would start Tua in Miami this week versus the Chargers. The Chargers secondary is looking bad. you
Okay.
know, and so Tua's starting to look good. We talk more about the defense, but Tua's going to get better, I think. I was the one that was kind of low on him earlier.
I was
Remember
too.
that? We shit on
Now
him
I'm
a
a
little
little.
bit.
We
We
now
did.
I'm kinda
I did.
shocked.
I think the kid looks kind of sharp. So
I always liked to.
you did. I know. We were the two that said. We were the two that went. I'll admit that
Just
I
the
shit on
lack
him.
of experience.
But
the
he's
talent's
a sharp
there.
kid. And the secondary of the Chargers is terrible. They're looking like they're getting ready to get to that mode where they're getting ready to give up on the season, which is great for him because
Yeah.
Miami's
I
going
would love to
fucking
start
tear
him,
it up.
but he's not. I would start him over
I
Burrow
would.
this week. But
I would
I'm
definitely
not-
start him over Burrow because I don't
definitely.
think Burrow's going to have a great week.
Yeah, I don't.
I
either.
wouldn't know if you bench him, but I mean,
But my back's against the wall, so and 2 is not available in any
leagues. But if you have them,
anymore,
or you play daily fantasy or whatever,
Yeah.
2 might be a good might be a good weekend. Kareem Hunt, yes, Nick Chubb is probably coming back. They're not going to give him a lot of the carries. Kareem Hunt's look good.
Oh yeah, they just signed an extension a couple weeks ago.
And like
he's
talked
gonna be
about,
fine.
they're probably going to ease Nick Chubb back in.
They are,
and not
unlike Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey throw.
They still got Dearness Johnson that they love giving carries to as well. Kareem Hunt's a smart choice.
Kareem Hunt
Yeah.
would be someone
All right.
I would look into starting this week. Nelson Aguilar for the Raiders.
He's
Who
available.
who is available in
I would
most
actually
leagues.
look.
He's actually done really well the last couple weeks.
He's been
Who are
connecting
they
with Derek
playing?
Carr. They're playing, I believe, what did they say? Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
And
Who's kind of spotty.
they're kind of
on
spotty.
defense,
I
too.
think.
I
I
just
think. Yeah.
My problem, and this is just a personal dilemma I have. I just don't trust Aguilar, and this goes back to the Philly days where
Me
he's
too.
You're
raw.
thinking about Philadelphia.
Yeah, I can't. It's just one of those things where I cannot.
I know. I had him.
pick
Is that,
him, so-
look at, I had him. He's
5
spotty.
touchdowns.
Yeah,
this
But
season.
he's looked good. Derek Carr's been connecting with him more than he has with Ruggs. He's not making the big plays like we thought Ruggs would make.
Yeah.
It's going to Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah.
So he's going more with
Ruggs has been disappointing.
yeah. He's
All right.
Aguilar's his guy.
That's
so,
I like that start.
and we just mentioned it earlier. Jimmy Graham, if you have him or you want to use a flex, start Jimmy Graham against Minnesota. Minnesota's terrible against tight ends. He would be a guy you might want to look for.
Minnesota's defense is just
It's just terrible.
It's
Period.
just-
Yeah.
But
That's
they're
not as bad
but
as Dallas and
Jimmy
not
Graham's
as
gonna
bad
look
as-
like Jimmy Graham's going to look like old school Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
You know, not when I used to draft him and he did jack shit in fantasy a couple
Yeah.
years ago, or when Reed drafted him. And I would say Brandon Cooks, another guy who Deshaun Watson and Brandon Cooks
Yeah.
are looking pretty good. You could get him as a flex this week as well.
He's a low tier wide receiver 3. Look, I would say. I mean, he's
Good flex start.
He's a good flex start.
it's a matchup that's favorable, I think,
Yeah.
against Cleveland's defense because they're going to be airing the ball out and they can't run against that defense, so they'll be spreading the ball out, and that's why
I'm kind of hoping they can.
because Cobb will be another player to look at too, Randall Cobb, because it's a good safety valve down there because they don't use Darren Fells at all.
No.
So.
Not at all. Who's
All right,
next?
what do you got for?
What do I
start?
got start wise? All right, my first one, T. Higgins.
He just reads who he's starting on his
I
team.
on his
do.
own team.
I
love
gave,
it.
You
I
can,
gave up,
yeah.
I gave up on
I'll
writing
give
this
it
shit
on
down
your
and putting them
list.
on here. I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter anymore. I come back here with stats and what's the percentage of finding these players and whatnot. I was like, fuck it, he doesn't care.
He's always wrong anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Remember, I'm doing a lot better than you are this season.
Overall,
Oh,
not
yeah.
really, but
Overall, yes.
All right, egos aside,
eh,
I'm
who are
doing
you starting?
But T. Higgins, right off the bat, I'm going to say Cincinnati
I like it.
up against Pittsburgh. I love T. Higgins. I love Tyler Boyd too.
you think Higgins is the number one?
I do think Higgins
He's the
is going to be the
number
number
one
one starting next year because Boyd is a slot receiver.
Yeah.
But Higgins is a legit one. He is such a solid player right now. Another guy, Gus Edwards. This guy has had back-to-back
Yeah.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
And Ingram is not coming back
I
this
don't,
week, to my
I don't
knowledge.
think so. His ankles are
J.K. Dobbins, they don't trust him enough to
No.
make him the
They're
guy.
back, and Gus Edwards is just balling out.
Yeah.
Especially the last 2 weeks, he's really helped me out whenever I needed a back. I've got Kenyon Drake, and he's been questionable. He's been concussed. He
Mhm.
hasn't decided to run, and they really like Chase
Mr.
Edmonds out
Unreliable.
there.
He's Mr.
So-
Unreliable.
Gus Edwards is my guy, and he's playing New England. He'll have a great game. Logan Thomas. Now I know
Washington.
Yeah. Now this is kind of a weird thing because he's had a pretty shit season. He started off kind of strong, and then
I
he
like.
just
I think
kinda-
I like your logic where you're going. there.
Detroit is who they're playing.
Yeah,
So Alex Smith is their quarterback.
and he
Alex
loves
Smith,
getting tight ends
He
and running back.
loves tight ends.
Wow.
He's always made her tight ends look great. Kelsey made him into who he is. I mean, Kelsey's great, but I mean that's because you've got a game manager who does not throw the ball deep, and you're able to get yards after completion like Kelsey could. Logan Thomas will be there for those targets. If you see on the stat here, 6 targets last week against with Alex Smith. Alex Smith is going to find him. And against Detroit, it's going to happen. So I have him starting over like Noah Fant and Jonnu Smith this week. No, I know.
I kind of like those better, but.
No, we're not going to mention Corey Davis. You can suck it. Keelan Cole, no. Let's see here. Who am I starting?
Keelan Cole hasn't done anything in a couple of weeks.
Will Fuller. We were kind of talking about this earlier against you brought up Cooks. Same basic idea, except I'm going number one, their number one wideout. Will Fuller's having a great last few weeks. I think he's found the end zone, the last 3 weeks in a row, 2 weeks in a row or something like that. Deshaun Watson has found him. Oh, look at that. He's got a touchdown in the last 6 games of the season. He has found that end zone. Fuller is coming into his own as the number one. He's the big thing behind him was, his health. He stayed healthy, and this is what happens. He's having a great year. So I'd be starting him. And then let's take a look. Who do I want to start in this league? Okay, I don't like this start at all. Antonio Brown. I'm trying him again.
You kind of got to if you got.
That's a roll of dice.
He had a shit game.
Right.
Against, I think the Saints had a great game plan, and I think they kind of knew what they were going to do. I'm trying them again. I think it's just the options are there. You're going up against Carolina. You got embarrassed last week. Tom Brady is a competitor.
Yeah.
He's not going to sit
down.
down.
And so is Brown.
And so is Brown. And I think this week he's going to second week into the system.
He's definitely going to target him. Tom Brady.
Yes.
The playbook is going to be more available for Antonio Brown this week. He's got a lot more reps with the whole team. I think Mike Evans got shut the fuck down.
Oh, he was not happy.
Well, I don't know if he got shut down. I heard Mike Evans was open a lot.
And wasn't thrown to. They said there was a little bit of a lot.
2 targets.
He just wasn't targeting him.
Yeah.
And they didn't run the ball.
Marshawn Latimer, though. Okay, so this was the stat that everyone wants to throw out here. Marshawn Latimer, the last 3 times has played up against Mike Evans, has only given him 2 targets with 0 yards.
Wow.
Mike Evans hasn't had a reception against Marshawn Latimer in the last 3 games, which I think is pretty awesome for Marshawn Latimer. I mean, you're able to if you're able to put one cornerback on that guy and then double team Gronk.
That's why I picked up the New Orleans defense.
So I think Antonio Brown, I'm going to give it a chance again.
On Brown, did you hear the story? I don't know if this is an old story or not, but I just heard somebody report on it yesterday morning. Brady wanted Brown a lot. The coach didn't want him. He did not want him at all. But he did it for Brady.
According to Bruce Arians, he went and talked to his team and asked them if they would be okay with them bringing him in. And supposedly everybody was okay with it. Now it looks like Evans is upset.
Boom. Which was the worry.
Well, it's the same.
They had said before this game.
How can you balance all those receiver egos they have? Godwin, Evans, Gronk, all
Godwin, Brate. Let's just keep going.
Burnett.
So Antonio, it's
going to go there. Brate. We haven't heard anything from Brate in a long time.
He's got to be the guy to prove himself and say, hey, I'm going to shut the fuck up, not be a distraction. I think he's going to do his part, but Evans is going to be like, wait, you only targeted me twice?
Yeah.
So,
you got Marshawn Latimer up. I'm not going to throw it over his
way.
And
I guarantee you, Nick's right. He's going to get targeted more. Brady's going to go after him again.
Yeah.
He's going to try to get him part of the
buddies.
mix.
But
he's got to get him part of the mix. He's got to get him going early.
He probably needs to get acclimated.
He's got to get acclimated.
This is his first game. And
exactly.
He was only in for like 20, 30% of the
He did jack shit.
He had 4 days on the team. That playbook he didn't have that whole playbook memorized. No. Bruce Arians is a offensive genius. We'll see what happens, but I'm giving him another try. I think because of that, but because Antonio Brown's out there, I wouldn't be starting any other Buccaneer player half the time. I think that's going to be Brady's guy. So that's who I'm starting. And
all right. On something you said earlier, do you know who the leader is in receiving yards as of today in the NFL?
Robbie Anderson, or it's not Julio.
Nope.
I know Robbie Anderson's like 2.
Who is it?
Who is it?
Stephon Diggs.
Oh, hey, he had to throw his own guy.
I have been starting in
Me
a
too.
couple of my
Definite
two
start,
leagues.
but that's too easy. But he is. I'm shocked. He's the leading receiver in the NFL right now. Is on the Bills.
Why are you shocked by this? You should be.
That shit never happens. No, I'm happy, but I can be shocked. It's like when I fuck a pretty girl. I'm happy that I'm doing it, but I'm a little surprised she's here.
Don't you
without being kidnapped.
So what do you got to think expecting about that pretty girl? Like that's like she's got to be like if she's pretty and she's willing to fuck you.
Yeah. Then
she's willing to fuck anyone.
I'm totally getting it.
Good for you. But it'll be the greatest 30 seconds of your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
This porno lasted a lot longer than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I was pretty shocked.
Well, yeah. I thought about baseball.
Yeah.
All right, here's my starts. Christian Kirk versus Buffalo. I think this is another kind of a shootout like against Seattle. I think Josh Allen opens it up, or the coaches for the Bills, and I think the Cardinals are going to have to keep up. And Kirk has had to put together a couple great weeks.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Hopkins is, I don't want to say taking a back seat, but Kirk's been open. Kirk's run reverses. Kirk's done
Hopkins is getting doubled and triple teamed. And
so I
there's
think
literally the reason
and
why they have to
Buffalo
go to
can
Kirk.
be iffy on defense and give up big plays a lot of the time. I have Jerry Jeudy versus Vegas. Of course, not Tim Patrick, but Jerry Jeudy I love. I think he's a great rookie. He had 10 targets in the last 2 games each, which is a lot. And in a PPR, that's 10 points off the bat. Of course, I don't have him in any league, but if you have him in a PPR, you got to start him. That's a lot of targets.
It's 5 points and a half-point PPR. Good job, buddy. You can do math.
Shut up. McKissick versus Detroit, somebody I missed out on, but he's get a lot of receptions too. And Detroit's terrible against pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Jared Goff versus Seattle. That was a great. If you have Jared Goff, or you can go pick him up, and I've tried. He's just sitting on people's benches collecting dust, really. But this is the week to get him in there. He's going to have a 400-yard
Would
game.
you start him in DraftKings?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And I might.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, and you can get him cheap too.
Yeah.
In DraftKings. So, and then Saints defense against 49ers. 49ers are in such disarray.
Yeah, it's a
now Debo's coming back and Ayuk's coming back, but other than that,
I mean, they've given up on Garoppolo. From what I've heard, I think Kyle Shanahan's done with them.
I think
they're going with Nick Mullins as their starter, and then Beathard as their backup. I think Garoppolo is down to the 3rd string, even though he's technically hurt. I think, but I don't think I think they're done with him.
I think they're so bad now they're just going to let him rest and see what they have in other people.
Oh, they know what they've got in those two.
They've had him for a while.
Yeah, so
did he go to Ole Miss?
Which one?
The guy starting.
Nick Mullins went to Southern Miss.
Oh, okay,
he broke all Brett Favre's records. But I mean, it's a shit show down there. And at this point, if I were the 49ers, I'd be talking to New York Jets into that number 1 pick and going for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Or fucking Justin Fields. It doesn't matter. It's one of those 2 young QBs. It's just because it's a shame.
Yeah.
They went from being a Super Bowl contender, one play to Emmanuel Sanders. Literally 1 play from taking the Super Bowl from the Chiefs to just a shit show. Yeah. And I know that it's been plagued by injuries. Like it started all the way at the offseason with Deebo Samuels. I told you he had an ankle injury, and you were like, I didn't know that, and now it's still lingering on to this day.
But he's supposed to start this week. but I'm not starting him.
No, I
Ooh,
wouldn't.
I'm missing a sit. Definitely him. All right.
So that's mean we
Sits?
go sits.
Yeah.
Okay. I would sit Kirk Cousins versus the Bears. I don't think he's going to do much. They're gonna run more than they're gonna pass.
They have
Yeah.
been. They need to because
and Kirk,
is-
they're not. Yeah, they're gonna go
God.
all Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins. If you're in that situation where you got to start him, and you have a team that you have to start him this week, I'm sorry, because I
But
wouldn't.
Kirk has been good in fantasy.
He
Just
has been. No,
probably not going to be.
yes,
this
I
week.
just wouldn't start him
Yeah.
this week. So I would bench Kirk Cousins this week. I'd go ahead and just start benching Melvin Gordon because Philip Lindsay is going to be the guy. He's going to be the main guy. They've been
That's good
kind
for
of
you. I traded him to.
they've
think
been
I know anymore.
they've been
Oh.
sharing the load, but they've been getting Philip Lindsay in more scoring options
Yeah.
lately. And so they're going to play him against the Raiders. Philip Lindsay's going to score more fantasy points than Melvin Gordon is.
I just don't think they're going to run the ball. Period.
Well, yeah, but if you
they're
had
going to be
but if-
playing catch up and Judy, Tim Patrick,
Well, because the Raiders are
Handler,
gonna, I think,
yeah,
gonna
it's
take-
fan. I mean,
they're going to be playing catch up.
yeah. So
So it's going to score,
I
but
wouldn't start a running back for Denver. Period.
yeah, unless you had to.
No,
Well,
even if I
yeah.
had to, I'd find something
You're like,
else.
hey, I'm going to get a flex. I'm going to get is
Wayne Gallman Jr.
McKinsick available? You know,
Wayne Gallman Jr. Let's go with him.
yeah. But Melvin Gordon, I haven't been. I think he, if they've had those two guys, I think Melvin Gordon's been kind of. Have you been impressed with Melvin Gordon?
No, I'm
No.
not impressed.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
thank God I didn't draft him.
fuck.
in
I
any
wouldn't.
league.
I wasn't going to touch him. Period.
Yeah,
I wasn't
I
impressed
mean,
with him when
like,
he was San Diego or
dude.
Los Angeles Chargers. I've never been impressed by him.
Oh, yeah, thank you. So I mean,
Yeah,
I would have dropped him months ago.
he's been. Yeah, I drafted him last year in round 5 or 6 when he was he
holding
injured
out.
or holding out, and he
Mm.
never put together like 2 good games in a row. It was a waste.
What he's good for is trade bait. People
Yeah.
will take him on trades because he's a name, and we play with a lot of
Yeah,
stupid
he
people.
used to be a name. He used to be. Yeah, we do.
yeah. So the next one, AJ Green. If you have him or Higgins,
Nobody has AJ.
I'm thinking about
Green
BJ.
except
You
for
gotta
BJ.
cut
I'm thinking
him,
about BJ.
drop him already.
I'm thinking about BJ here.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't start him this week unless you're playing against me or
AJ
any
Green
of these two
even
guys.
have 100 yards yet? Oh my
360.
God, 360.
or Higgins. Tyler Boyd is a start. Like, if you even have AJ Green on your team, I think at this point it's fucking
Yeah.
worthless.
The sad thing is it's going to be a pass-heavy game out
he's
there
not
against
gonna get
Cincinnati, but
targeted.
it's not going to be AJ Green.
He's
It'll
not gonna
be
get
Boyd,
targeted.
It'll
He'll be
be,
run blocking.
it'll be
A lot of people are
Boyd,
looking
it'll
at that,
be
though.
Sample.
But Nick,
it'll
a lot of
be-
people are looking at that and go, "Hey, AJ Green, I got him on my. Should I start him as a flex? Fuck no,
No.
he's not going to be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't start anyone but
This
Tyler.
is
Boyd.
2015, maybe not today.
Yeah. Well, you got to tell BJ that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jared Cook versus San Francisco. I like Jared Cook. I have him on my teams.
Why not?
What? San Francisco's awesome against tight ends. They don't give up. Let's see. I got stats here that says, yeah. Oh, he was one of the few players that didn't do shit when he was
Against Tampa.
Saints.
No, he
Jared Cook
plays
was-
for the Saints,
I mean,
right?
I mean,
Against
Saints
Tampa.
in Tampa.
Huh.
He didn't look good. So I have Jared Cook.
All right.
So you're saying because he didn't look good last week,
Oh, no,
he's
no, he's
not
not
going
going
to
to
come
look
back
good against the
get-
49ers.
But the 49ers
I don't think
defense,
the 49ers defense is good anymore. I think
like
they're
their
a shadow.
front four has
We'll
been
see.
sampled. Their best player right now is
Was-
that linebacker, and he's terrible in coverage. Great run stopper, Armstead or whatever his name is, Armstead, whatever.
They traded Quan Alexander, which is
Yeah.
a great linebacker. And
Yeah,
they,
but Armstead, I think, is the guy.
Jesse
that-
Armstead.
Yeah, something
Maybe.
like that. I like actually Jared Cook in this matchup because I think he's going to come back and he's going to
I
light up.
Don't
And
think he will.
not to
No,
mention, Drew Brees is going to tear that defense apart.
I don't think so.
Just
But and I'm in a dilemma on one of my teams because I just said Jimmy Graham. Start him. He's on my bench. Jared Cook's my starter. And
So you're gonna switch him out?
I would like to, but that's the one.
I would go Graham over Jared Cook. I would totally go.
I think I
Graham
would
over-
this week.
I
Yeah, I
would
would
go-
take Graham over that.
I would start.
And maybe
At
Graham
least
over
this
Jared
week,
Cook.
just because Matt.
And probably
just
I'm
because of
speaking
matchups.
towards my own, like who would I start at it to? No, probably not. I think the 49ers are good against tight end stuff. But
Hmm.
you guys will disagree. We'll talk.
Yeah,
I won't
I
be
don't
here next
know.
week, but
It's just the whole defense in general is terrible on San Francisco. Everyone's been scoring against them. I can't. I just don't see that.
All right. This one, Rita Love. I would not start the Bills defense versus Arizona. I wouldn't. I think they're going to get lit up.
I'm not disagreeing,
Murray.
but I would have said the same thing, and I think I had them as a sit last week, the Bills defense against Seattle, but I had to start them because I had them, and they actually scored a fuckload of points. They had 2 fumbles,
so
2
you
interceptions.
think they're going to score a fuckload of points this week against Arizona?
Maybe. They've kind of figured out their defense.
I wouldn't start them either because I really like that Arizona's offense.
I do too. They're explosive.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can put 2 good weeks like that together. So I don't know. I didn't think we'd win last week or going to win this week. I knew we'd beat San Francisco because they're pretty bad.
So let's put it here first. This weekend we're going to see.
I'm starting them.
We're going to see if the Bills, if you got to start them, start them. I don't think they have a great week against Arizona. And Jared Cook, if you got to start him, start him. If you're like me and you have another alternative like Jimmy Graham, I would start Graham over Cook. Most teams don't have that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. So my first sit-em, Antonio Brown for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Wait, you're going to sit him? Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm fucking –
I know what you're thinking. I just said start them, right?
Yes, you did.
They can be on both lists.
Like it's
that is not fair.
I can't it's been one of those things where I've been starting them and then I'll take them off and I'll put somebody else up there. Like originally I had Preston Williams up there and then I hear he's on IR now. So I'm like, let's put him back in there, I guess, till I find something different. I am so unsure with Antonio Brown. I don't know what the fuck to expect with him.
Yeah.
But he's such a massive player and such an explosive player that he's always going to be on my radar, whether it's a sit or a start or a sit or a start.
It's like a scratch-off.
I
just hoping for one.
You see how he was my last start, but my first sit? That there is called dramatic.
This is how Ronald Jones ends up. Everyone starts this a lot.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Fuck up. Another sit. You talked a little bit about this when you brought up Aguilar. I'm not only just going to sit Ruggs, I've cut him on most of my teams. I've dropped him.
What's he doing? What's he doing?
Absolutely nothing. And if a lot of people, and this will be what BJ will say, he's a decoy because he gets everybody else open because he's so fast and he's so out there that everybody flocks to him and he doesn't get any catches. Well, great, because guess what? That doesn't do shit for my fantasy, does it?
No.
So I'm done with Ruggs completely. I don't think he is. God, I'm done with him. Kenyon Drake. First off, we don't know how healthy he is.
He practiced today. He's supposed. I don't know if he's going to start.
Chase Edmonds.
He's supposed to. He's going to play.
They love Chase Edmonds out there.
They do.
And so I think he's losing a lot of his carries to Chase.
I think it's going to be a committee.
I just don't trust it enough to put him as a starter or even as a flex, especially now up against Buffalo, where I think it's going to be more of a shootout and they're going to steer away from the passing or running game. I don't think he's going to be worth a damn this week.
I think I'm starting him in at least one league.
I'm starting Gus over him.
Yeah, because I don't have a choice.
Corey Davis, Tennessee wide receiver. There was like 3 weeks ago, he was massive. He was huge. Guess who decided to come back? A.J. Brown. And now Corey Davis is nothing.
Yeah.
He got me, I think, he had a massive 40-yard drop at the end of the game last week, and that was heartbreaking because he had 0 points for me last week. He had 3 targets. He was absolutely
this week terrible. He's going to have a good game.
Maybe he's playing Indianapolis, whose secondary is phenomenal.
Stats aren't coming up.
Oh.
So it's okay. His stats aren't very good anyway.
Because he's got that good, because he's on the set.
That's the reason why we set him.
Yahoo's trying to find it.
I'm benching another Titan, Jonnu Smith. He's been
he got a touchdown last week.
He did, but he's inconsistent.
If you want consistency in receptions, you draft Travis Kelce. Other than that, tight ends are this year are a crap. They're touchdown dependent.
Kittle was great for me for a while.
But he's not around anymore.
I know that was heartbreaking.
That's
but Jonnu Smith, he's once again we're going up against Indianapolis's defense, who's got probably the best linebacker covering him and Darius Leonard. I'm not going to even risk it. I'm starting Ingram over him, and yeah,
I'd rather have Smith.
I wouldn't. Let's see here. So just to have fun, I'm going to say I'm going to bench Christian Kirk. I don't think it's a like he's we were talking earlier. He's having a great last few games. I think that they're double coveraging Hopkins. I think this is a game where Hopkins has a massive game.
Really?
I think he's going to be huge.
I don't know. I think Trey White's going to be on Hopkins the whole game.
You can't just single coverage him with one guy. And you and I both know he
pretty good safeties also.
He tackles. He's not a shutdown corner. He lets them catch the ball and then he tackles. He's a sure tackling corner. I'm okay with him getting the catches, whatever. I don't trust Kirk in this situation against Buffalo.
All right.
Last sit, Darius Slayton, New York Giants. He's a big play. It's either a big play or nothing.
Yeah.
So it's really rough to get him starting on a flex.
Who are they playing?
Philadelphia. And I just don't trust Daniel Jones to get him the ball against Philadelphia. I think this is a big win for Philly here. But, yeah, that's who I
trust Daniel Jones to run another 4.3.
Yeah.
Then throw to Slayton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It
sucks because I think he's a great receiver too.
So do I. But he's a big home. Like he doesn't do many inside routes. He's not a great route runner. He's just go deep and I'll try and sling you the ball. And if they don't connect, you kind of shit show and
you'll get points for attempts.
Yep.
All right, here's my sit list. Ronald Jones makes it again versus Carolina.
They
ran the ball 4 times. Fournette.
Here's the Tampa Bay's problem is they don't establish that run.
You're right.
They have got 2 great running backs
that can both catch.
Why don't they use them?
I don't know what's going on there with the play calling.
Fucking idiots out there. I could coach a better team than that.
And him, I'm actually sitting. Joe Burrow, I have as a sit against Pittsburgh. Well,
I kind of
but
to it.
But I can't sit him, so
oh my God.
I have to start him. But to our listeners, you should definitely sit him. Okay. Start Goff or Josh Allen, anyone else.
Jake Lewin.
I have that. I'm not
Alex
doing that. No, I'd rather have Burrow than all of those. Jonathan Taylor versus Tennessee. I think you should sit. I think you should just for maybe 1 week avoid that entire backfield if you have another option. I am going to start Jonathan Taylor at least 1 league. I have him in 2 or 3, but I would sit him if you have other options. In some, I don't.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Antonio Brown as a sit. He's going to have to do something and have a good game and prove that I should start him. And in the leagues I have him, my roster's so deep, like I don't have to fucking start him. I can sit on him forever. And Samuels for 49ers. Debo, yeah, I'd wait. I think he's a set. Wait, he's just coming back from injury. Supposed to start. He's just started practicing.
So we'll see. Playmakers out there. They need something.
They do.
What were the receivers they had? They said last week they had guys that were on their practice squad, guys that were working at like a Denny's the week before.
I can't remember their. If I heard, it was a white guy and a black guy, and they were both really good. I was like, "Who are these? I need to pick them up." But I think now they're behind. Now they're buried behind Ayuk and Samuel.
Yeah, look at these. Craycraft, that was one of them. I remember hearing his name. Oh man, Richie James. He was the big guy.
I think Taylor.
He had all the receptions last week. He had a big game last week.
It's kind of cool hair. That's like when you get the mixed ice cream. swirl. He had 2 cones. No, I just kind of want ice cream.
Yeah. Somebody's feeling fat tonight.
Yeah. Well, not yet. I haven't eaten the ice cream.
It looks like the brownie.
Yes. See? Yeah. All right. You guys got anything
I
else?
think we're good.
Right on.
Do I have anything else?
Well, Nick always
Not
does
not
anything else. He could
STD wise. Okay.
Why would I have an STD?
I'm sure I don't know. Why are you so defensive?
I don't know. I get my STD test for my friends. All I sit there and be like, hey, Dan, you know anybody with AIDS?
That's like how
he knows
Graham
me.
gets his STD test.
Bitch Hedberg.
Do you remember when Graham said he goes down there and inspects it first, make sure there is
Well, that's
woman?
that's kind of a red flag right there.
Yeah,
I mean, you
and
gotta
I'm like, you
expect-
remember that? That was in your car. We were going to an apartment house, and he explained
Yeah, he did
how he
explain
checked.
that.
He checks if the what?
If the women have anything bad
Between their legs?
Mhm.
Okay.
If they have
so,
any sores
So
or
he's
anything.
being very transphobic by sitting there and saying that if they're still not a woman, if they have a penis. That's offensive to the trans people.
That's not where I was going.
I thought he thought it anyway.
Way to go. This is a very transphobic episode now because of you, Reed. Or
We
Graham.
always send it
Pick
to a
one.
different direction.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you guys wrap it up.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to us and
You
watching
don't
on
really wrap it
YouTube.
up. He just sits there and stops.
And we'll see you next week for week 11. Thanks.